Hello, this is not a spring chicken. Boy, today, Monday, it's a really big news day. But I'm just curious, what surprises you the most? Is it that B of A bought out Merrill Lynch in a government-sponsored buyout? Is it that Lehman Brothers, didn't get the financial infusion they were hoping? Or that Barack Obama didn't talk about Sarah Palin yet this morning? Well, for now, yes, you did hear I said this morning. But for now, we'll bring Oldecam on for comments on the headlines of today. Asian stock markets to a seismic shakeup on Wall Street involving the bankruptcy of Lehman Brothers and the takeover of Merrill Lynch.
Yeah, basically there's not a whole lot of faith in the American banking industry at the moment.
Which brings us to AIG's liquidity crisis.
They're an insurance company, and they've got an awful lot of bad investments, and because their investments are bad, they're basically going under.
It's all over an election, but the formal swearing in of Obama.
I know they said that since Obama is the only true instrument for change, the crash of Wall Street means that people will flock to him as America's greatest president.
Militant group in southern Nigeria declares war on the oil industry.
Yeah, because they're not getting their money out of it. So,
U.S. pushes foreign weapons deals to rearm Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen because the Iraqis actually don't have any money no matter what it looks like.
Alaska lawmakers vote to subpoena Palin's husband.
Yeah, basically the subpoena, it only came about because of a Republican lawmaker from her district that doesn't like her.
Isn't that how it always happens?
That's right. She got an enemy among the Republicans, so he decided to sink her for the election.
Organized crime becomes the de facto power in parts of Mexico.
What's new?
Baby bottle chemical debate draws mixed safety messages.
Well, because the FDA says it's safe, the people that manufacture them say it's safe, but the people that basically have done the testing independently say it's not safe because the chemicals leach out of the bottles.
I know who I would believe.
Yeah.
Petraeus, more than troops needed in Afghanistan.
Well, everybody knows that. That's no secret.
NTSB to seek cell phone records in LA train crash.
You know, they want to see if he was talking on the cell phone at the time, but you know, everything is basically automatic.
Automatic, isn't it?
You're just basically they're sitting there on a ride.
Well, and then they were sitting there saying that they thought he was doing text messaging or...
Yeah, okay.
But
I don't know. All you got to do is go back to a movie called Pelham 1, 2, 3 with Walter Matthau. Trains are supposed to have... You supposedly can't run a red light on a modern train. It's supposed to stop if you go through the red light. So I don't know what's going on anymore.
Republicans fault both campaigns for negative ads.
You know, because the moderates say that they're way too negative on both sides, but it's not going to make any difference because it's going to get worse.
Morales struggles to control Bolivia amid violence.
Yeah, they're going to toss him out. It's time for a coup in his country.
China launches nationwide inspection of dairies.
Yeah, like they really care one way or the other.
Yeah, like, do they care as much about that as they do about piracy?
Yeah.
Nearly 2,000, and we're not talking about the seas.
That's right.
Nearly 2,000 brought to safety in Texas.
2,000 it shouldn't have had to been. People were told to leave, and they decided to ride it out.
Hurricane remnants blamed for 12 deaths in the Midwest.
Yeah, which I find, a storm was I mean, they had very little death in a hurricane, and the tropical storm was killing people.
Houston inconvenienced but not devastated.
Well, yeah, it was a hurricane. Okay, in my lifetime, I have been through hurricanes. I have been through tornadoes. I have been through floods. I've been through plane crashes, and my house burned to the ground a few years ago. So, you expect, you got to rebuild after disasters. It's just a way of life. If you're going to build where you shouldn't build, you're going to have to rebuild.
Like you said, it's a way of life.
That's right.
Obama camp says it raised $66 million in August.
They could raise $100 million in August. It doesn't make any difference because they fumbled the campaign.
Palin touches familiar... Yeah, they're spending the money watching each other now.
Yeah.
Palin touches familiar... Oh, plus ads. Palin touches familiar territory in first stops. Palin touches familiar territory in first stops.
Yeah, because it's what you want to do is to go to places you're safe.
McCain visit to New Hampshire could help in the South.
They think that they actually think that Obama is going to lose New Hampshire now, which is a very liberal state.
Really?
Yep, because McCain appeals to the independents and Obama is losing them.
Younger evangelicals split over Palin choice as VP.
That's because the majority of the younger evangelicals are Afro-American, not white folks. People get the idea that this is a right, the Christian right is all white. No, its majority is black.
Tons of drugs dumped into wastewater.
It gets worse every day. Well, because what people do, they know better than to throw their drugs out in the trash. So what they do is they break them open and dump them down the sink. Okay, if you filtered for the drugs, you wouldn't have any problem. They don't know what drug to filter for.
You know what? That's the problem, isn't it?
That's right. So you don't. Okay, take your drugs somewhere. Ask your doctor what to do. Ask your pharmacist what to do. But don't dump them down the sink or toilet.
Well, is that a reason why people were drinking a lot more bottled water? No, that was probably more for the convenience.
Just because it got to be it's like owning an iPod.
Oh, well, maybe that would be a good reason to be doing that.
Yeah.
Few safeguards for Mexican produce heading north.
Well, yeah, that's why we're getting so many problems from Mexican produce. Mexican
Produce produce. Is that a tongue twister?
No, that's a good one.
California lawmakers appeared to have resolved the state's budget impasse Sunday.
Yeah, but they've got a $5 billion hole, and that's the problem. Schwarzenegger may not sign it because of that $5 billion hole. They actually don't
There's
have
a hole?
Yeah, they got $5 billion they can't cover. It's just a smoke and mirrors thing. It's still there even if they pass the budget.
Democrats' plan leaves most oil off limits.
Yeah, you can't. Okay, from the shore to 50 miles out, you can't drill. And all the oil is from the shore to 50 miles out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they said that the Democrat. They said it is irrelevant, no matter what the public wants. The democratically controlled Congress in places is not going to allow drilling where there's any oil. So it's irrelevant.
Well, that's not good.
That's right.
Well, why are they doing such a stranglehold? Because they get elected every couple years.
They don't care. They have their agenda and what the people want to do. It said this morning. They said public opinion and what the public wants is irrelevant.
Wow. Well, everybody, you guys have your own vote. O.J. Simpson jury selection renews questions of race.
Yeah, it's all white. I mean,
there's a problem.
It says you must have a jury of your peers, and they said they can only get away with that if there's not sufficient amount of minorities in the jury pool. Well, let's see. Las Vegas is filled full of Latins. Las Vegas is filled full of Asians. Las Vegas is filled full of Afro-Americans.
Aren't they supposed to get a jury pool? Yeah. Electronic Arts Inc. suddenly dropped its $2 billion bid for fellow video game publisher Take-Two Interactive Software.
That's because there's a 9.9% drop in video game sales in the last quarter.
Ouch.
It's now starting to feel the attack of how many video games do you actually need?
Is that a continuation of the DVD situation?
How many DVDs do you need? Or how many different forms of the same Gods of War do you need?
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac not paying $1 million severance packages outlined in their contracts.
Yeah, the government said no way, so they're not going to give people money for screwing the companies.
U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the U.S. SEC said customer accounts at Lehman Brothers Holdings are protected.
Yeah.
But aren't they still subject to the 100,000?
Yeah, most of the cases. Basically, they said that you'll be lucky to get 60 cents on the dollar is what they have said. Lucky to get that, which means pennies on the dollar to the most of the people will probably be it.
But you know what? If you're in an investment bank or stock portfolio, those aren't government bonds. So,
No.
I mean, there's no
It's
insurance.
just the stock things that are covered.
Candidates have firmly rooted difference on fixing the economy.
Yeah, neither one of them knows how to do it.
That's what they call in advisors for. A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
As darkness spreads across the land, light is needed.